Well, here we are wrapping up the work week this Friday, and what a week it has turned out to be. And I don't think there's not another organization, whether it is news, my size or larger, there's not another entity, weather-wise or otherwise, governmental, that is not trying to stress at this hour that this indeed is not over, and we could actually see conditions worse than what we have seen thus far by the time I see you back here on this show. And that's the reality of it this evening. And it could be what they are using words for Western Kentucky as a fatal weather event. That's in regards to the potential flooding that they could see as a result of more rain that is yet to come. I know it's been a pretty nice Friday in regards to the somewhat lightening skies and drier conditions, and we're looking at a Saturday in the latest update that has got some partly sunny skies, mid-80s, and not much of a shower and thunderstorm chance until midday, early afternoon. But it's Saturday night into your Sunday and Sunday afternoon that could really, given what we've already seen, had a whole lot of insult to injury. And while Western Kentucky is again going to see the brunt of it, the line is still pretty much the same. We're talking about a low pressure boundary that is pretty much where it has been now for days, and we're just seeing a little bit of a break in the action. Hopefully we're going to continue to be on the lighter side of things than what Western Kentucky was and is going to be again. It looks as though it will be a similar pattern. However, as state Kentucky Emergency Management was telling judge executives and county officials earlier today, just a shift over from a few counties in distance could mean a lot, and not in a good way. So with that said, we'll talk more about that. That's going to be our main focus, as is talking about current and other flooding conditions out there in the viewing area. We're going to take a look around in just a few seconds before we take a look at the weekend ahead weather-wise, and I'll leave you again by stressing what I just did, that do not get caught off guard with a little bit of a lull in the action, because that's all it is. It is temporary. I'll be right back.
For whatever reason, if your working days are over, don't do anything before you meet Grover. Social Security, disability, SSI, work injuries, wear and tear, and hearing loss. 888-9-GROVER.
There are several risk factors that may put a patient at risk for heart disease.
Especially people who have diabetes or hypertension or high cholesterol and have a family history of heart disease.
Neglecting to see a cardiologist can put you in trouble. You may develop problems that may not be reversible.
We see many people who do not have an actual diagnosis of a heart problem, but may be at risk of heart disease, and we do whatever we can to help mitigate that risk to help prevent disease in the future. ARH, more for Appalachia.
With spring comes sniffles and sneezes from that pesky fine powder from plants. Pollen, one of the worst words ever. You could try to limit your time outdoors, but that's really not an option for most of us. So talk to the pharmacist at Parkway Pharmacy and make a plan for personalized solutions for allergy and asthma relief today. SMB is proud to stand with you with what might be your very first and definitely last checking, savings, retirement, even Christmas Club account, along with consumer, auto, mortgage, business loans that you can easily manage from anywhere in the world with safe, secure mobile and online banking that comes from over 120 years of commitment to your financial life and well-being, today, tomorrow, and forever. Salyersville National.
I love working in the coal mines, even though it was hard work. But if you suspect you have black lung, you can't work anymore. You'll find out that filing for benefits is hard too. I had friends who give up after years of trying. If it hadn't been for Big Sandy Healthcare, I wouldn't even try myself. If you think you have black lung, call Big Sandy Healthcare and get the help you deserve.
Get personal with new jewelry collections from Soul Stacks and more at the seasonal shop, with new spring arrivals every week. Arrive and hydrate in style with Brewmate's new Brew Tank and the full color collection of cups and mugs. And come smell for yourself why Tyler's glamorous detergent sprays and soaps are hard to keep in stock. And if it's Easter you're thinking about, there's all kinds of ways to stuff anyone's basket of any age at Frazier's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop in downtown Salyersville.
Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood, the dynamic duo from television's Whose Line Is It Anyway, are coming to town, and they're asking for trouble.
Our show is completely made up.
Prepare for a side-splitting interactive extravaganza as these improv wizards hit the stage, serving up a night of unscripted comedy gold.
It sounds like a big waste of time and a lot of money.
It is.
Don't miss Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood. Catch them on Sunday, May 18th at the Mountain Arts Center. Get your tickets today at macarts.com.
My name is Don McFarland, and I have been an attorney in Eastern Kentucky for over 30 years. This is my son, Max McFarland. I'm very proud of Max. He is incredibly intelligent, a hard worker, and is graduating from law school this spring. Max will take the bar exam this summer.
We are a family, and we treat our clients like family. Bigger law firms are not always better law firms. There is no substitute for experience, personal attention, wisdom, and knowing who your attorney is.
When you have any legal needs, come see us, and we will personally represent you, and we will put our experience and energy to get the results you need.
If you have been in a car wreck, injured on the job, in need of Social Security disability benefits, or have any legal needs, come see us and let us take care of you. Call us at 349-9000.
If you're getting together to cheer on the Cats and catch the NCAA tournament, do it with a big party platter from Lee's. 40 crispy, spicy buffalo wings, 8 big juicy breast strips, a dozen double dippers, and 10 fried pickle spears. Just $54.99, but if you make your best play by calling in the day before, it'll be hot, it'll be ready, and you'll save $5. Only at your Sayersville, Lee's Famous Recipe.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small town values.
And Mom and Dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars. I believe in always finding a way to do what you love. I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
So for this entire rain event, the last 24 and then previous 24 hours, almost exactly 2 inches per. 4.04 inches of total rainfall here in the downtown area for this event. 4.85 for the entire week. And that 4 inches, of course, has caused a lot of problems. A lot of very quick rising flooding issues, as most everyone knows, to the point that a lot of folks were stranded at home or away from home. A lot of roads have been covered. And so far to this point, it's all been what I hate to say is common procedure in Magoffin County and parts of the viewing area, including Johnson as well. Some homes have been inundated with water. Some people have had to have been rescued or helped out of their cars after trying to drive through high water and then stalling out, and things that are, for better or worse, part of life in this part of Kentucky. And then we saw some water start to go down. However, at this hour, some are still on the rise, just depending on where you are.
Just starting here close to the studio and then kind of branching out. There was Rainy Park this morning, this video, this angle at around 10:30, around 4:30, a little after, when I was getting ready to come into the studio and do the show. Water still at pretty much the same level at this point. It looks as though in a couple of these frames it's a little higher, but it's so close that it's hard to tell. Same time frame here. This was 10:30 this morning, looking at the other side of the Ramey Park and just judging by the picnic tables and the height on the fence around the monument, then going back around 4:30. Very, very close, meaning that it was a little higher than both of these shots depict, and that it is since going down in the downtown area. That is at least some positive news. Route 7, well, this was this morning around 10:30. There is some change. Was some change by 4:30, not all that dramatic, as you can still see rushing water pouring over here the roadway, and the roadway still very much closed and impassable all the way past the old Sayersville Grade School. Again, this shot just between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. Here's one place of some significant change. That was 10:30, one car stranded where the Magoffin County Rescue Squad and the Sayersville Fire Department had to help someone who got stranded. This was me actually driving through this area just around 4:30, 5 o'clock or so before coming into the studio. And then there are places all over the viewing area, Magoffin and Johnson counties, where it's the same. Waters have rose and then have fell. Some are just still rising. This from a good friend of mine down in the Pricey area, where I think water was still coming up, obviously, given the fact that that's the way it flows at around 5 o'clock or so. I know that water in the Lakeville area, which of course that water still coming down the river, was still coming up around 5 o'clock. And then, of course, there are things that we will continue to have to worry about for the next few days. Mudslides, which even though the rain may not be falling or have fallen for several hours, you never know when it's going to give. And places like this in the Minix Curve here in Sagersville on Route 7, well, that was a major slide, one of a couple of major slides in McGoffin County today. And, well, that is still got some more earth. It looks as though it could go any time. Turning to other parts of the Eastern Kentucky area, looking over at our friends in the Middle Fork Fire and Rescue Department coverage area. This was earlier, actually around noon or so, going near the county line on 114. At the Park Place Apartments, again, that water starting to go down this along 114, as this was an earlier shot from in the morning and then one later in the afternoon. Showed that Middle Creek was still running pretty hard, but just not as high as it had been. Going over to the W.R. Castle Fire and Rescue coverage area. Before noon, Oil Springs Fire Department as well assisting with some mutual aid in Van Leer, doing some swift water rescue. And it was there that teams were going door to door, checking on everyone, as well as rescuing at least 6 people from their homes, which were surrounded by water and needed to get out for medical or other reasons, and were assisted by both departments, which were doing an outstanding job, as have been all volunteers. I do want to stress throughout this entire event, for which we are very, very thankful. Mudslides like this one over in Mealy on Route 40 and numerous others in practically every county, numerous mudslides in different areas, and the likes of which they will continue to see for the foreseeable future with all of the moisture that's either fallen or going to again. North McGoffin Fire Department, they earlier today were seeing similar problems. And this is just everywhere that sees any type of flooding ever is seeing it today. There are also some new areas which may see flooding for the first time. Hopefully not so much in Eastern Kentucky, but definitely in Western Kentucky. That's what state officials are stressing in regards to reaching out to judge executives and local officials today, because with the forecast for the latter half of this weekend, places that have never been flooded before may see it for the first time. Because while we, again, are seeing a very welcome and much-needed break in the action right now, there are still going to be some scattered showers and thunderstorms between now and this time tomorrow evening, but they're going to be much more sparse and not near as intense, while, keep in mind, portions of Western Kentucky are seeing tornado warnings this evening and much heavier sails. Judge Executive Matt Wireman says that in addition to assessing county conditions, he as well has discussed the upcoming scenario with Kentucky Emergency Management.
Yeah, we've had some reports that are getting into some homes and garages. I don't know that we've had anything that would rise to the level as being catastrophic as far as residences go, as far as what a FEMA consideration would be. But there's a lot of folks that I'm aware of that have had driveways that have a lot of washing in it and around their tiles and cupboards, getting into some garages and into some of the lower levels of some homes. But it's not been, we've had worse, but right now, we're still worrying about what's to come.
I was trying today to put together a list, and it's so ever changing because, and that's a good thing. The water has come up and then it's still gone down because we've seen a break in the rain. But an up to date list of roads that are closed, but it is an ever changing list to make. But as of right now, except for those that are obviously water covered, do we have any that are closed for slide or other reasons? I know we've had at least two substantial landslides today.
Yeah, we had one early this morning in the Minix Curve where a tree fell along with some mud and everything across the road there in the Minix Curve, and very likely that hillside looks very unstable still at this moment. So it's potentially could still come off again. And then I talked to some guys with the state highways just a little while ago, and there was another pretty good slide about a half mile or so up Bar Branch past the fire department. We got several state roads. Everybody knows where they're at. If you live in the communities that, as you just said, as the water's rising and falling, we've had these lulls and where the water's coming down in waves. It'll be over the road in Royalton and the meadows and around Meatskin on Gun Creek and around River Road. We've got it across 40 in and out. It's been actually across Cold Branch here in town today. Then I think down on 460 around the Gifford Bridge down to what's Long Branch down there. Come and go. We saw it across over on Pricey. I'm not sure what the status of that is, but those areas have went up and went down, went up and went down, and I know it's been in the park and the parking lot cleared off around the pool, and it's back over at 2 or 3 feet right now. So these rain events washing down and making their way toward Morgan County is up the water rising and falling and crossing those normal areas.
So I just got off a conference call with the National Weather Service, just monitoring, listening, and they've upped their rainfall estimates from where they for tomorrow night and Sunday from where they were this morning. Have you had any contact with State Emergency Management or anything on the matter of what we could expect?
Yeah, Robert Prater, my Emergency Management Director, and I were on a Zoom call with State EM, I guess it's around noon, where they showed us several graphs and charts of what has happened, and then they closed out with what they anticipate over the weekend. We're going to be fortunate through the early part of tomorrow because there's another tornado threat in western and central Kentucky, but we feel outside of that as far as being in any type of threat level. But their anticipated rainfall over Saturday night into Sunday morning and midday Sunday, we were in the 2 to 4 range of inches of rain. And one of the things that they kept reiterating and going over is that they're preparing for this to be a fatal flood in central and western Kentucky, and that should it shift eastward any start getting into the mountains and that type of rain falling, it would be catastrophic. So we hope that's worst case scenario and it's not what is probable, but they are planning for this to be a significant event as we move through the weekend.
And with that, the severe threat, while appears to be gone, is not. It is expected to continue into Saturday night, I think more so than Saturday, and into your Sunday morning. And this is where, again, we could see another several inches of rain. Now, again, 2 inches is right now perhaps the low side, and hopefully all that we will see in the viewing area. We'll get to the nuts and bolts of your 7-day in just a few seconds, but there is a potential, should this line shift just, a few miles, a few counties over, that we could see more of that. And right now, the folks who have seen up to 8 and 10 inches of rain in the west, they could see another 5, 6, 7 inches of rain. And that would be devastating, and that's what state emergency officials call a fatal flooding event. So with that, repeated rounds of moderate to heavy rainfall in the forecast through the end of your weekend. Right now, McGoffin, Johnson County in the 1.5 to 2.5 inch range. That will cause waters to hopefully, after they have receded, maybe get back to no more than where they are at this point in time. There's no exact calculation for that. More rain, of course, than a couple of inches will certainly have a more profound effect. We are seeing, again, a little bit of a break in the action. It's been very welcome. It's been quite pleasant. Temperatures out there right around 70 degrees. We will see a few more scattered showers. A couple of good downpours are certainly possible tonight and during the overnight, but we are seeing some dry times. We topped out at 71 today. We are at 70 right now. Winds are 1 to 2 miles per hour out of the east-northeast. Biggest gust I clocked in the downtown area was 17 today. Humidity up there, of course, 85, 86%. And again, for this rain event, it's almost exactly averaging out, well, not averaging out, almost exactly 2 inches over the last 24 hours or since midnight, and 2 inches the previous 24 hours, 4.04 inches officially here at the studio in downtown Sagersville. Sunrise 7:13, sunset 7:59. A flood warning is in effect until, well, it expired at 6 o'clock for McGoffin County. A flood warning is still in effect for other parts of the viewing area, most all of the parts, for another few hours. A flood watch, of course, in effect for everybody. No one gets out of that. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms. As you saw, they're scattered, but they're out there. We're going to see a few maybe, but nothing is widespread is what we have tonight. Mostly cloudy, 61 degrees. Tomorrow, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mainly after 2 o'clock. I think we'll start off pretty good tomorrow. Give you a little time to get out and make some preparations if you need to. Partly sunny, but we're going to hit the mid-80s tomorrow. That's not a good thing. We don't need that much energy, but we're going to get it. We're also going to see winds tomorrow, pretty light out of the southwest, but increasing maybe to 5, 10, 20, 25 or so on the high end for your Saturday. And then Saturday night, that's when you really want to focus on things. Showers and thunderstorms before 10, and then afterwards they could get even heavier. Right now, the National Weather Service is still sticking to up to 3/4 of an inch tomorrow night and up to 2 inches of rain over the course of your Sunday. So that's pushing 2 3/4 of an inch, and that's going to be enough to cause problems to come right back to the point they are now. A little less, a lot more. I can't tell you that. Hopefully, waters will recede as much as possible, and that will have some a profound effect on the additional rainfall that we see, and hopefully we won't see this system or this line shift and give us any more than what we are right now expecting. We are, with Monday, as you saw, looking at around partly sunny and 57. Definitely some air with more of a chill to it coming in. And then look at Tuesday. We are clear for a few days. 49 eventually after about a low of 26 Monday night. That means a frosty morning Tuesday. 49, 24, your high, your low. That means another frosty morning on your Wednesday, where we should climb back up to the 60s and then kind of hang out there for at least a few days. Frost, sunny on your Wednesday, a high of 60, a low of 40 that night. Frost is gone. Thursday, mid-60s, partly sunny. We've got more shower chances. I don't think this next scenario is anything like the one that we're in the middle of right now, but there's shower chances there. Thursday to the tune of 60% and Friday to the tune of 50%. You can throw a little fog in there as well with all of this moisture.
So while I always wish to leave you with a good or positive or happy note on Friday, I don't. It's rather serious, and I hope that everyone takes heed. There's not anyone out there, again, who is not trying to stress at this time, if they are in my position or any other that could do so, to please keep your eye on the weather this weekend. Make precautions, take precautions. Whatever we just went through, well, just imagine to yourself right now, well, what if it was much, much worse? What would I need to do? And then do that. And maybe it will all be for naught. But be prepared, because it could certainly be a major flooding event. And certainly, again, I think those who live in the western part of our state should be in our thoughts and prayers. Good night. Good, safe weekend to you all. I will see you back here Monday.